Last episode, Everton embarked on their Champions League adventure, beating Real Madrid in a history-defining game. We're unbeaten in the Premier League and we're firing on all cylinders. Is this the year Everton can finally win some silverware? But as ever, if you're enjoying the series so far, please feel free to like and subscribe, and let's get into today's episode. However, after scoring the only goal in that history-defining game, the start of the season could not have gone any better for this man, Brian Brobby. 9 goals in just 8 appearances in all competitions, 6 of those coming in the Premier League, and 3 of them coming in the Champions League. What a signing he has been. And the other signing, Moukoko, despite him not even starting a game in the Premier League nor in the Champions League, he still managed to rack up 5 goals in the Premier League, all of them coming off the bench and making an immediate impact. Yet again, another fantastic striking signing. Perhaps the surprise of the series so far, though, is this man, Cesar Huerta. He was a bit of a disappointment in the opening season when I brought him in last summer, but this year, 3 goals in 4 appearances, 2 of them coming in the Premier League. It's been a real turn of events for the young Mexican. And with the Portuguese Jota appearing 7 times in all competitions, but yet to get on the score sheet and yet to get on the assist sheet as well, might I have to start thinking about making some changes to my starting 11? Jota's a bit of an interesting case, it must be said, because last season, just before his injury, he was absolutely fantastic and he lit up my attack in the second half of the season, but ever since that injury, he hasn't quite been able to find his form of last season, and I've got to hope this is just a blip, and he can rediscover that form as quickly as possible. His instructions seem to support everything that he would be good at, cutting inside from the wing and getting in the box for every single cross he possibly can. And so with a big run of games still coming up in the Premier League and in the Champions League over the next few months, I've just got to hope he can start stepping up his performances, as I'm going to need all of my players firing on all cylinders if we want to win silverware this season and achieve the board objectives of qualifying for the Champions League again, reaching the FA Cup semi-final and reaching the quarter-final of the Champions League. Speaking of one area though where we are absolutely smashing the board objectives, and that is in the Premier League. 7 games played, 6 wins and just 1 draw. We are yet to taste defeat. We've scored 17 times, we've got 19 points on the board, and we've already put a 4-point gap between ourselves and second place Newcastle United. Can this team do the unthinkable this season, and something that Everton have never been able to do in real life? And that is win the Premier League title. And after managing to get another unlikely victory, this time away from home against Manchester City, we head back to Goodison Park in high spirits and with great momentum to face off against our arch rivals Liverpool, a Liverpool team whom I'm sure will be desperate to put an end to this fine form. And speaking of fine form, there is just one change to my usual starting 11, and that is that Cesar Huerta, with his fine form, has managed to get himself back in the starting 11. He comes in left midfield with Jota unfortunately dropping to the bench. Here we go then, a big game and a big opportunity for us to continue our fabulous unbeaten run so far this season, but Liverpool of all teams will be absolutely desperate to put an end to that one today. Out to Luis Diaz. Luis Diaz tries to go past Teresiano, but this man has been an absolute wall at the back for me, both offensively and defensively this season, and yet again he's in the right place at the right time as Bakayoko tries to play it forward into the path of Brian Brobby. Unfortunately couldn't get there. It's been an electric start so far as Luis Diaz tries to get the jump on Teresiano though. Unfortunately enough for Liverpool, he does manage to do it, throws it in. It is Hato though with the head away. Huerta with another head away into the path of Damsgaard, and now he's going to try and go here. Can I try and play a ball into Brian Brobby? I do. Doesn't really have too many options, so instead tries to lift it over the top, but Virgil van Dijk of all people is there in the right way. Brobby does manage to keep the ball alive, but in the end we've got to try and build from the back. Branthwaite into Hato. Liverpool pressing high here, but we're doing a really good job of getting away from some pressure as Hato floats it over to Teresiano. Really nicely done. He's going to float it back in. Looking for the big head of Brian Brobby. Couldn't get onto it though. To Botzley. Into Luis Diaz. So far he's been the danger man, and this time though he finds himself coming inside into Politano. Politano back to Rodriguez. Rodriguez into Virgil van Dijk. And ever present in that Liverpool back line for the last few years, but it's Onana and ever present in my midfield in this career mode who wins it back and then gets done by McAllister. Ferguson into Mark Gay, who wins it back well into Damsgaard. He can surely now try and release Brian Brobby. Brian Brobby almost was inches away from releasing Bakayoko, and that surely would have been a brilliant opportunity. But Brian Brobby again showing what a brilliant signing he's been so far. He's won the ball back. He's driven into the box. He's fed O'Reilly. What a save from the goalkeeper. To Botzley. into Evan Ferguson, into Diaz. He's the only man who's forward for Liverpool here. And Mark Gay puts a stop to that attack and then loses the ball in a dangerous position. But Onana, again, a brilliant tackle from him. And now he releases Bakayoko. And Bakayoko has the pace to get away from Merlin. And he's going to try and find a ball into Damsgaard again, who strikes. And he puts it wide. A huge opportunity that's gone begging there. Merlin for Liverpool into Zabotzlai. Zabotzlai back out wide to Luis Diaz. If anything is going to come from Liverpool, it's going to come from that man. But Teresiano putting a stop to that attack. Brilliant play from the young man. And that is a brilliant, calm and composed play out from Jordan Pickford into Branthwaite. Huerta has got an option across here into Hato. He finds Hato. Hato, can he go into the box? He does, into Brobby, looking to get another one. This time it's another good save from the goalkeeper though. Well, we've had two big opportunities, and it's opportunities that we haven't been able to take. But can we take this one? It's thrown in, looking for Carlos, stays a Huerta. In the end, the referee blows for half-time. But at the end of the first half and the start of the second, it remains 0-0. But of the two teams, we have certainly been the one that is looking most likely to break the deadlock here. Mark Gay loses it though in a dangerous position, and Politano feeds in Evan Ferguson. He plays it across to Zabotzlai. He's got a man in Luis Diaz out wide. Doesn't use him though. Instead goes himself. What a save from Pickford. There's going to be a corner that man Zabotzlai is going to take. Is he going to take it short? Yes, he does. Into McAllister. He throws it into the box. Headed away by Branthwaite. Not very far, but Mark Gay eventually does manage to get on the second one. And Branthwaite will win it back. And he will now try and go past his old defensive partner in Tarkowski. And he does wriggle away from him really nicely and plays a lovely ball into the right back Teresiano. Here is the break on here. The Italian is going to try and ghost down this right-hand side. Has he got the pace to get away from the Liverpool defenders? No, he doesn't. Branthwaite into Gay yet again. And Gay's going to go over to the right-hand side, into the path of Teresiano, who's been lively here in this opening 60 minutes. Bakayoko's another man who's been lively, and he's got a wonderful opportunity to try and float it in the box. Instead shifts it onto his left, finds Damsgaard. Damsgaard into Huerta. Huerta scores! Oh, he doesn't score. I thought it was going to be a brilliant goal and a brilliant finish from the Mexican. I was so sure of it. I announced it as a goal, but somehow he's put it wide, and somehow we've missed another huge opportunity. Shrewd for Liverpool, being chased down by the substitute Jota, who is on in place of Huerta after missing that atrocious shot. And now Dele Alli, another substitute, has it into O'Reilly. O'Reilly tries to feed it around the corner into Bakayoko. He manages to bundle it into the box, but eventually he's hacked clear by the goalkeeper. Gakpo for Liverpool skips past the challenge of one of my defenders. Luis Diaz now into McAllister to stretch his legs down this right-hand side. Hato frantically trying to come back to cover. Does cover. Brilliant defending yet again from the Dutchman. Liverpool have three men pressing high here, but we get away from it, and Jordan Pickford fires a ball out to the Italian Teresiano. Teresiano now down the line. Dele Alli back into Bakayoko, who's just offside. But Dele Alli was taken out from behind there. What is the referee going to do? Is he going to brandish a yellow card here? He does brandish a yellow card. And I think Rodriguez can count himself a very lucky man. Dele Alli hobbles off. Fortunately enough, I think he will be good enough to continue. That is a shocker of a challenge. How on earth has the Liverpool player not been sent off? Well, with just 15 minutes remaining on the clock, you know what substitution is coming next. Brobby comes off, and it is the impact sub Mukoku who will come on, and he will hope he can score yet again in front of the Everton faithful in what will be the biggest goal of his career so far. O'Reilly into Dele Alli. Turns really nicely. Beautifully done by the Englishman. Into Jota. Jota has options. He finds the option in Teresiano on the right-hand side. Floats it in, looking for Bakayoko. Can't get his head on it. Headed clear though. Only out as far as Rodriguez. Riley tries to bundle his way through. My word, 6s and 7s at the back from the Liverpool defence. They just about hack it clear. Bakayoko wins it again. Mukoku has it now. And Mukoku will drive into the box. Has he got an option here to check back? He does. He finds Jota. Jota to strike into O'Reilly. O'Reilly into the back of the net. But has the referee blown for offside? It looks like he has. Yes, he has, because the linesman has his flag up. Well, the opportunity there was for Jota to try and strike, but he got the strike all wrong. In the end, it got fed into O'Reilly, who applied to finish, but he was just about half a yard offside, and frustratingly it remains 0-0. Well, we've got about 5 minutes remaining on the clock here, and we are, of the two teams, the most deserved to try and get the winner here, as Dele Alli is going to try and feed in Jota, and Jota now will try and play it across to Mukoku. It's off the post, and Bakayoko can't get on the rebound. Well, it's just as well he didn't, because it would have been offside again, but Mukoku, unbelievable, so close to having another brilliant impact, but another huge save from the goalkeeper means it comes off the post, and that man was unable to apply the finish. O'Reilly now for Everton. Just about 2 minutes plus stoppage time remaining as Dele Alli feeds it out to Hato. Hato goes back in field, finds Bakayoko. He turns, plays it into Dele Alli to make himself a hero. Dele Alli, the Englishman, the former wonder kid whose career I said I would revive, strikes again, and it is a brilliant, brilliant goal in the dying seconds here in this arch rival game against Liverpool. The crowd and the players go wild. Dele Alli celebrates in front of the home fans. It is a brilliant goal, and surely that is enough to seal the 3 points here today. Look at the celebrations from Dele Alli. It's his second goal of the season, and my word, what a time to score it. In the 90th minute here today, is the referee going to blow full time, or are Liverpool got just enough time to try and see if they can fight back here and get an equaliser against the run of play? No, they don't, because the referee calls time, and Everton Football Club have beaten Liverpool yet again here today. The Liverpool players are absolutely crestfallen. They thought they'd done enough to hold on for a point, but it was not meant to be. Yet again, we dug deep, and that man Dele Alli, on as a substitute, rose when I needed him to, and secured another memorable victory against Liverpool as we beat them 1-0. Well, he might have lost his place in the starting 11 to Damsgaard, but it hasn't stopped him making an impact off the bench this season and scoring a dramatic late goal against Liverpool. Seemingly, we just cannot stop winning this season, and it's another win that continues our unbeaten run and helps us to a 5-point gap to second place Chelsea now. And for me, whilst Brian Brobby obviously is stepping up and leading the way in the goal-scoring charts, the biggest thing for me this season is that the surrounding players are really starting to step up. The likes of Moukoko, Huerta, Matt O'Reilly, Damsgaard, Bakayoko, and even Dele Alli, all stepping up at pivotal moments when I need them to, and it is brilliant to finally see some of the other players in the squad getting on the score sheet. Looking at this starting 11, it really does feel like these players are starting to finally come of age in this career mode, and with us being top of our Champions League group, sitting pretty with a 3-point gap to Real Madrid in second place, the unbeaten run just does not seem like it's coming to an end. Away from home against FC Basel, it's another 3 points and it's another 2-0 win. It's Bakayoko at the double back in the Premier League as we beat Newcastle United 2-1 at Goodison Park, and we knock Oxford United out of the next round of the League Cup, beating them 1-0 courtesy of a 64th minute goal by Moukoko. But out of nowhere, despite Brobby getting an early goal in the 10th minute, we are brought crashing back down to earth for an unlikely victory for Brentford as 2 second-half goals give them a 2-1 win and give us our first loss of the season. But fortunately enough, we bounce back with style. Bakayoko once again getting 2 goals, Moukoko getting 2 goals, and even Jota getting on the score sheet in the last 10 minutes means we bounce back in style. A 5-1 battering of FC Basel means we're now 5 points clear of Real Madrid in second place, means we have qualified for the knockout rounds of the Champions League, and means just 1 more point in this very competition, and we will secure top spot in Group E. And elsewhere in the Premier League, despite us losing our first game of the season, we have retained our place top of the pile, but our lead at the top has been cut down to just 2 points as Chelsea begin to breathe down our necks. And as you can see, with such a bloated calendar and the games coming thick and fast, and the fatigue levels of my squad starting to slip, I've just got to hope that our performances don't start to slip as well as we go back to Goodison Park in our very next game, as we are going to be hosting the West London club Fulham in a game that I'm sure the fans will be expecting a bounce back and will be expecting 3 Premier League points. However, with that fatigue running right through my squad, I have had to make several changes to my starting 11. Pickford is the lucky man who keeps his place in goal, but Patterson comes in at right back. Sangante will partner Branthwaite, and Kurzawa will face off against his former club at left back. Onana is in midfield with Dele Alli and Matt O'Reilly, but it's Dwight McNeil on the right hand side, Huerta on the left, and Brian Brobby retaining his place up front. Well, it's a big game here tonight under the lights at Goodison Park, and it's a game that we must get back to winning ways from in the Premier League. We cannot let all the good work that we've managed to accomplish in the first 10 games be undone now. O'Reilly into Patterson. Patterson looking to try and play his way back into the starting 11, but with passes like that, he is not going to get anywhere near it. And now Farias has it into Willian now, who tries to get the beating of my defenders, does get the beating of my defenders. Truffert goes past Branthwaite, no, he's not even there. Farias tries to get in there, but Branthwaite just in the nick of time with 2 big challenges to win it back in a crucial moment for us. Dele Alli now has it and goes infield to Kazawa, the left back, who finds himself central, and he plays it into Brian Brobby, and the Dutchman now strikes. Oh my word. Somehow he gets his strike all wrong, and that is very unlike him this season. St. Just out to Adrien Truffert, who turns again and goes to St. Just. We've got two of my wide players, both pressing as high as they can, but Fulham beat the press, and they do a really good job of beating the press. But Branthwaite, 3 big challenges now from that man defensively. He's been brilliant so far in the opening 20 minutes here. And again, he almost put in a 4th good challenge, but they've just managed to skip away from it. Vinicius Jr. now comes across into the path of Palhinha. Oh my word, Fulham should have scored. They just went past my defence like it wasn't even there, but then smashed a brilliant opportunity against the post, and we have got away with one there. But Fulham have another opportunity now to bring it forward. It's thrown into the box. Who else but Branthwaite would it be to head it clear? And now it's Onana who's the other man to get on the loose ball. And now it's into Dele Alli though. We've got the opportunity to try and counter-attack. It's thrown over the top into into Patterson. Dwight McNeil has it, but he's just straight offside. Palhinha for Fulham. Comes deep into Farias. Lovely little ball out to the right-hand side to an unmarked Castagna, the former Leicester City man. Plays a nice little ball into De Cordova-Reid. And now he plays it back. It goes into the box though for Vinicius Jr. This is beautiful play from Fulham here. They tried to strike and they tried to bend it round Pickford, but he's one step ahead of them, and we are living life on the edge here. It's been a really poor start from us. Fulham pressing high and winning the ball back once again in my half. Willian now to drive into the box here. Cuts it back for Truffert. Where is my defence? Pickford, fortunately enough, comes to the rescue yet again. It's going to be a corner here that Willian is about to take, and has that loss in the Premier League to Brentford really had a knock-on effect to our confidence here, as this is arguably the worst I've seen us play so far this season. We can't seem to get out of our own box and our own half here. Fulham all over us, and Fulham are certainly looking like the team that are more likely to score here. My defence is all over the shop. He's waltzed past them, and in the end, Farias with a brilliant finish to give Fulham a much-deserved 1-0 lead. Well, my defence are just walking into each other. Look at those two players, leaving gaping holes. And then my centre-back's just not closing the striker down. Again, I was smashing L1 to try and switch the players. It just wasn't working, and neither was my defence. Jordan Pickford could do nothing about that, and frustratingly, Fulham take the lead. Well, what a poor opening 45 minutes. No doubt it was the worst of the season, and I've just got to hope that we are over the worst of the season and we can try and turn things around here in the second 45. Patterson with the throw into Dele Alli, who turned really nicely and then lost the ball in a really dangerous position. And Vinicius Jr.'s in here, and Vinicius Jr. doubles Fulham's lead inside 52 minutes. And just as we ended the first half, we started the second half off in shocking fashion. Well, Dele Alli lost the ball in a dangerous position. You cannot lose it there. And once again, my defence gaping, left completely wanting. And Vinicius Jr. clean through on goal. It was still a fabulous finish on the edge of the box, it must be said. Oh, Pickford managed to get his hand to it, but he's got to do better there. The 87 rated goalkeeper really not showing his prowess there. And Fulham lead 2-0 into Vinicius Jr. All Fulham so far in this game. And once again, De Cordova-Reid is free now down this right-hand side. Kazawa trying to come back. Kazawa does come back, and he spares our blushes there because we were almost undone for the 3rd time. But he's gone and tried to clear his lines, and he's cleared it right into the path of a Fulham player. Palhinha now has it. He's surely going to try and play it across. It's a poor ball. Pickford counts his lucky stars that it falls straight into his arms. Sangante to try and bring it out of defence. Feeds it into Dele Alli. Nice little ball round the corner into Onana. And Onana's going to try and feed in O'Reilly. O'Reilly into Brobby. Brobby almost into the back of the net. That was a big opportunity. And the Dutchman today just hasn't quite found his shooting boots. Well, desperate times call for desperate measures, and it is time to call upon the cavalry. The big players like Bakayoko, Damsgaard, Hato and Teresiano are all coming on, and hopefully they can try and see if they can spark some life into what has been a fairly lacklustre Everton performance so far. Hato now into Cesar Huerta, returns and finds the Dutchman yet again. He goes infield looking for Brian Brobby, tries to turn it around the corner, hasn't managed to. Can he get it back? No, he can't. Fulham go again now, and now it is 2-on-3 here as Farias tries to bring it down the right-hand side. He's got an overlapping run, but he doesn't manage to find it. It's a good challenge from Branthwaite. End-to-end stuff now. Damsgaard to release Huerta yet again. He's got options, and he's got space to run into down this left-hand side. Can he cut it back across? I was looking for Brian Brobby. It was a good interception by the Fulham defence, but this has been a better piece of play now since the substitutes have come on. And Gante all the way over to Hato on the left-hand side, who's found a lovely pocket of space, plays it in field for Damsgaard. Damsgaard to O'Reilly. O'Reilly back out to the right back who's just come on into Teresiano. He's going to try and play it across the box. It's a crowded box, and it's one that Fulham clear their lines from yet again. Hato now into Cesar Huerta. Is this too little too late here from Everton as Damsgaard just turned and struck Could he have done more with that opportunity? Well, suddenly we seem like we've sparked ourselves into life here, but with just 5 minutes remaining on the clock, have we left it too late? As Matt O'Reilly tries to strike from distance, it's a good save from Leno. We've got a corner, it is going to be that man O'Reilly to take. He's going to try and drift it into the box, looking for the head of the centre-back, Zangante, doesn't find him. Damsgaard back out to O'Reilly though. He's going to get a second opportunity to throw it back in. Round the corner though for Damsgaard, really nicely done into Huerta, who puts it wide. The goalkeeper though did manage to get a touch on that, and it will be Dele Alli to take the resulting corner again. Fires it in, this time looking for Hato, whose head goes over the bar as the referee blows for full time. Well, a really disappointing display, and one that Jordan Pickford looks thoroughly crossed with. Arguably our worst of the season at a time when we really didn't need it to be. Full time here at Goodison Park, it's Everton 0, Fulham 2. Well, we've gone from 10 games unbeaten to back-to-back losses in the Premier League now. This time a shock one against Fulham. Somehow though, with Chelsea succumbing to a 2-1 home defeat to West Bromwich Albion, a West Brom team that find themselves in 16th place, and with that win have managed to drag themselves out of the relegation zone. Somehow we have kept our 2-point gap at the top of the table. Now, with the exception of my serial striker Brian Brobby, who for some reason just did not find his shooting boots against Fulham, missing 2 glaring opportunities that normally you would bet the house on him scoring, the majority of the starting 11 for that game was made up of some of my reserve players who normally find themselves on the bench, and due to such a lacklustre performance, has it really highlighted the need to try and bolster this squad even further when the January transfer window opens in just a month's time. But with just £23 million left remaining in the budget, and seemingly quite a bit of work still to be done to try and improve my squad depth, let me know down in the comments below which areas of the team you think need the most improving, and which of the players do you think would be the perfect ones for me to bring in when the January transfer window finally opens. However, things are not about to get any easier, as we are about to head to the Bernabeu to face off against Real Madrid in their own turf. This is stuff that only dreams are made of for the Evertonians. They get to travel to Madrid and watch what is arguably going to be one of the biggest games in the history of Everton Football Club. And with it being such a big game, it of course means it is a return to my usual starting 11, and my strongest starting 11, with Pickford starting in goal, Teresiano, Gay, Branthwaite and Hato at the back, Anana, Damsgaard and O'Reilly in the centre, Bakayoko, Brobby and Jota all start up front. Well, Real Madrid, I'm sure, will be looking to make amends for their earlier loss against us in the competition. It's a game that they absolutely have to win, and it's a game, it must be said, that all we need is a point from to secure our spot top of this Champions League group stage. But already though, Real Madrid are taking the fight to us, and now down the right hand side, Alexander-Arnold, the former Liverpool man, looked to go one-on-one with Hato, but he wasn't able to get past the Dutchman, who, it must be said, has been sensational so far this season. But now Jota has it, and he's going to try and release the Dutchman yet again, who drives down the left hand side. Can he pick out a ball here into Brobby, who looks to try and go past Courtois? But it's a big save from the Belgium, but it's only one that is enough for an Everton corner, as Jota now is going to take exactly the sort of start I would hope for in the opening 10 minutes here. But Courtois rises highest above Hato to get his hand on it and relieve the pressure defensively for Real Madrid. Into Jude Bellingham now, into Camavinga. He finds Vinicius Jr. This Real Madrid team just littered with superstars, as Alexander-Arnold now drifts down the right-hand side and gets the better of Hato. It's going to be a real ding-dong battle between the two of them down that flank all game, it must be said. Bayer trying to get there ahead of Jota. Luka Modric, the veteran, still playing at the highest level for Real Madrid, but he's blocked off by Anana, and now we can try and hit them on the counter-attack. Jota has a wonderful opportunity to feed in Anana, and he gets the timing of the ball all wrong. Luka Modric into Jude Bellingham, who's come short. Real Madrid parking every single player inside my half here as they try and see if they can unlock my defence. But Hato again tussling with Alexander-Arnold. Into Jude Bellingham, into Bayer. Bayer trying to get past Mark Gay, doesn't manage to. Teresiano manages to wriggle away from his challenge. And yet again, can we try and hit them on the counter-attack? I feel like this is going to be the theme of the game so far. Bakayoko, lovely ball into Brian Brobby. And can he now try and get into the penalty area? Going one-on-one with the Real Madrid defence. What a save yet again from Courtois. Well, it must be said, although we are keeping on hitting them on the counter-attack, we have had the better of the chances so far, as it's thrown in for the Dutchman Hato. It's kept in somehow by Anana, and Damsgaard now has it. What a brilliant head. It goes all the way out to Jota, and now out to Bakayoko, finds himself on the left. Floats it in, looking for Damsgaard on the volley, and Damsgaard has the time and the awareness to take a touch and on the half volley, smash it past Courtois into the bottom right-hand corner to give Everton what can only be described as a deserved 1-0 lead. Bakayoko in acres of space, a brilliant ball across, and Damsgaard just took a step away from the centre-back. That gave him the time to take the ball down, and what a touch! Unbelievable from the Dane, and what an even better finish. Past Courtois, 1-0 Everton. Well, Real Madrid just don't seem to be having the luck here against us. They lost to us 1-0 on our patch, and now they're losing to us 1-0 here on their own turf. Can they change that though? They've still got enough time to do it. And now it's Garcia who's managed to get past two of my players down this left flank, and he's thrown it into the box. And Mark Gay with a very interesting clearance, but he got the job done. But now it's Jude Bellingham who's got it. Nice little ball into Modric. Mark Gay again though is in the right place at the right time, and now it's Onana to bring it away. Jota goes central, finds the overlapping run of Hato, who's been up and down this left flank all game though. He has to come back inside as he just doesn't really have the legs to keep going, but he's managed to feed a wonderful ball into Brobby, and Brobby, his strike is too powerful. Courtois could have done more, but Brian Brobby is an absolute unit up front for me, and he strikes again. He has got an absolute rocket of a left foot, but it was all about the ball from Hato, a defence-splitting pass, but Brobby still had a lot of work to do, and Courtois, who has been in fine form all game, made a real hash of that one. He got a touch to it, but it wasn't strong enough. Ancelotti's furious. 2-0. Well, what a first half at the Bernabeu. We are 2-0 up here, and I cannot quite believe I'm about to say this, but have Everton Football Club got Real Madrid's number? Vinicius Jr. into Bellingham though. I'm sure Real Madrid are going to try and see if they can put a stop to that though here in the second half, but Bayer, what a wonderful opportunity, and he made a right mess of the strike, made it easy for Jordan Pickford, and in the end we get away with one. Branthwaite all the way over to an unmarked Teresiano, really nicely done here, and now the Italian can try and go down the right hand side, feeds in O'Reilly. O'Reilly going to look for a ball through into Brian Brobby, played it into the channel, but the Dutchman just couldn't get there in time. Teresiano into Mark Gay, gets the ball all wrong though. Vinicius Jr. intercepts, and now Bayer can try and run into the box here. Mark Gay though makes amends, but it goes out for a Real Madrid corner. Arda Güler with the corner. He's going to take it short into Vinicius Jr. yet again, thrown across. Pickford did try and dive for it, but it was headed away by Bakayoko. Perhaps a little bit of lack of communication between the two players. Modric now into Vinicius Jr., into Bellingham, back to and from the players here on the edge of the box here. Vinicius Jr. has it yet again, trying to wriggle away and find space. In the end, he's just crowded out, and Garner on as a substitute manages to get in the way, and somehow, some way, we manage to clear our lines yet again as Real Madrid start to ramp up the pressure. Dangante on as a sub over to Teresiano. He goes infield looking for James Garner, who I'm sure will be looking to put in a wonderful performance as Bakayoko with a big strike. And it's an even bigger save from Courtois. It will be a corner here, and I'm going to try and switch things up, and I'm going to try and go short, and I do go short, into Cesar Huerta, who tries to throw it across. Headed away, though, by Jude Bellingham. Not very far, only out as far as Valverde, and only out as far as Dangante. Huerta now will get a second opportunity to throw it back in. Valverde, though, with a big challenge to throw in here, and it's one that Onana manages to collect into O'Reilly. O'Reilly into Garner. Garner shapes up to strike. In the end, it's easy for Courtois. Mark Gay, with only a few minutes left remaining on the clock here, plays a lovely ball into Bakayoko. He feeds in Garner. I was looking to the ball into Mokoku, but it goes out wide to Hato. And now Huerta will line up a strike, and in the end, it's another save from Courtois. I feel like I'm losing count of the amount of saves this man has made today, as the referee surely, yes he does, blows the whistle for full time, and yet again it is another historic victory against Real Madrid in the Champions League, but this time we've done it on their turf at the Bernabeu, and in what is one of the biggest games in Everton's history, we have come up trumps yet again. That man Brian Brobby coming to the fore yet again, as at full-time era finishes Real Madrid 0, Everton 2. Well, it's been an up and down episode, with the media claiming that in spite of us having a 10-game unbeaten run in the Premier League at the start of this season, we are somehow stuck in a rut, but we have turned it on its head, with Brobby scoring a goal to seal defeat for Real Madrid in Spain, and sealing our place not only in the knockout rounds of the Champions League, but top of the group. 5 games played, 5 wins, 15 points on the board. What a way to start our Champions League campaign. These players are showing the world that we might be able to do the incredible, something unthinkable that even the most diehard Evertonian would not have expected us to do this season. Can Everton Football Club not only bring home some silverware this year, but potentially bring home the Premier League and the Champions League as well? But if you're going to find out whether or not we can do it, you're going to have to tune in for the very next episode, because that is it for today's episode. Thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you again next time.